Whoopsie. Hi, how are y'all? I just got off my own phone. I was watching a horseshoeing video and I sent to Parker and it was like 20 minutes long. Hello, Dannon. And Hayden said, "Hey, you going live tonight?" And it was 7:57. I went, crap. So I rushed in here and got all my lights on, got everything set up. Hello, Michaela and Alexis and Dorian and Clarissa and Epic Roller. And early again tonight. Yesterday, I think it was a bit late. That's okay. How is everybody? I think my cord hit that. That's pretty typical about the day I've had so far. Today, I am preaching the gospel of vasectomy. How many of you, be honest, didn't even know what a vasectomy was until you watched this podcast? I know the older people did, but hello, Panna. And there's a new one I don't recognize. 7 Days to Die, Arizona veteran. Hello, 7 Days. How are you? Bailey, looking great, Caleb. I'm feeling great, Bailey. Is it Bailey or Bailey? I feel like $1,000,000. Today was chest and triceps, and oh my God, I was totally just pumped today. My legs are sore as they can be. They started getting sore about 30 hours after the gym today instead of yesterday. And I've just been stretchy. I think I'm catching up from being off. I took off a week from being ill with whatever I did. You did not. What did you not do? No, you're not. Tori, you're not new. Oh my gosh, Tori, that just reminded me. Let's see, 7 days. I'm 22. Does that mean I'm old since I've had a vasectomy? No, it means you're wise. You might be an old soul. Very nice. Well done. If you know it's not for you having kids, then that's okay. Anybody that says otherwise, it's none of their damn business. Of course, none of this is anybody's business, but this is. Why is everybody saying they're new? Y'all aren't new. Y'all been here for at least a month or two. Gunny McGunwall. Hi from Fort White, Florida. Oh, cool. I'm in Florida, in Okeechobee, but I'm not native here, so I've not heard of Fort White. So you'll have to tell me where that's at. I don't know. Hey, what's up, bro? From Oklahoma. Hello, Pinky Woo. Pinky Woo in Oklahoma. I'm going to be talking about vasectomies. I've talked about this before, but I think it needs to be talked about some more. A lot of men who've not had vasectomies, particularly young men who've not had vasectomies, they're just scared of it when they find out what it is because, I mean, let's face it, the thought of a doctor getting a knife near your nuts is rather intimidating. But with the way the world is changing, we're in a cycle, I believe. And it is going to get better. It is going to get much, much better. But before it does, I firmly believe, at least in my lifetime, it is going to get much, much worse. With Roe versus Wade being overturned last month, yeah, July, I believe. And now the Republicans are fighting back from the critics who call them, they just want kids left out to rot and die and blah, blah, blah. They're fighting back with, we'll just kiss some more voter ass. And child support that we Republicans have pushed through and 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 built the entire politics of Texas around for the last 40, 50 years. That's apparently not good enough anymore. Now they're pushing the legislatures, the rules makers, pencil pushers, the politicians who are all just sternly known for being such trustworthy people. They're pushing the lawmakers to make fetus support before the kid is even born, before the baby, before the fetus, before the zygote is even born. Pretty soon, before she's even caught her breath from having that amazing orgasm she just had, she's going to be on the phone with her lawyers. And, yo, listen, hang on. That one just took. I'm definitely going to need some fetus support. And I'm not making this up. Yeah, I'm sort of kind of joking it with calling it fetus support, but it's legitimate. I'm pretty sure it's Marco Rubio is one of the senators, U.S. senators, authorizing the bills, or authoring some of the bills where it would be legal for a woman to start collecting child support from the day of conception. All she would have to do is prove who the father is. And this is going to get into just more and more and more invasion of our privacy. And before some of the critics get on to me, you're just a pro-lifer. You just don't believe in a woman's right to choose. No, that's entirely false. I do believe in a woman's right to choose. It is her body. I personally don't agree with it. But then again, I'm not a woman. And I'm not a woman susceptible to getting pregnant when I wasn't exactly planning for it. And yes, I fully know what causes pregnancy. One man and one woman and at least one man. Some of y'all got a lot more. Some of y'all women, the child, what do they call them? Baby carriers, baby growers, birthing people. Mothers to be, have to make up a lineup. It could be that one or that one or that one or that one, maybe that one or that one, not that one, that was too long ago, but that one or that one. And I've just got a big problem with that, because it's not that I want fathers to be absent at all. It's not that I'm anti-family at all. Of all people, I've kind of made a name for myself raising a stink for giving a shit about my own kids and wanting to be involved in their lives. I fathered them. I will raise them. I wanted to raise them half the time without having so much of my money stolen from me via the crooked family courts. But what's going to happen? What is going to happen? There are sure things in life. There's death and taxes, right? And there's young people. You are going to get old. Eventually, you just are. I promise. I mean, obviously accidents happen, but outside of that, the general person who's listening to this right now, who happens to be young, 18, 17, 18, 23, 25 years old, you are going to be my age, and it's not going to be it's not that far away. I'm 45. And what I see happening with the mind poisoning of, again, I'm not a Trumper. I mean, y'all can watch my video from 2 days ago. I've got plenty to criticize Trump over. But I just lost my train of thought. Whoa, what's going to happen? This leftism, this commie mentality is for some reason getting more and more and more popular. And how are you going to go about finding out who the dad is? There's this thing called the Constitution that allegedly this country was built on and allegedly derives its power from. its organization from, allegedly. Obviously, it doesn't always do as it's supposed to. The justice system in this country is, without trying to sound like Trump himself, because I'm not, I've called the justice system in this country a joke for years, but it is a joke. You get about as much justice as you can afford. And that's what it pretty much boils down to. I don't know why, but that's just how it is. But in that Constitution that we allegedly live by is this thing called the Bill of Rights. And one of those Bill of Rights, there's 10 of them. Those are the original amendments. If you look up the founding document and read it for yourself, the original document itself was laying out the rules for what Big Brother could do. They don't call it that, but that's what it is. What the government can do. And there's a big bunch of pushback before it got ratified, and they say, well, that's fine, but we want a list of, before we sign this, what the government can do. We want to limit what it can't do to the citizens, and that's where the Bill of Rights came from. And one of those is the Fourth Amendment, which is the guarantee of every citizen from the freedom of unreasonable searches and seizures. You can't come search my person or my property without probable cause. With cops, if they have probable cause, they can enter a property if there's an emergency or they see a major crime happening or whatever. But if they just have suspicions, they just suspect something's not right with this guy. He looks like he could be the murderer, but we have no proof. They have to get a court order. They have to explain it to a judge, and a judge has to, allegedly, that's his oath, to uphold the Constitution of the United States. And if there's not enough evidence, they're not allowed by the Constitution. It's a judge's discretion on whether or not to grant it. So what are you going to do, man? Some crazy bitch out of the blue says, I think you might be the father of my child because I'm pregnant. I've been pregnant for 3 months and I want child support right now, and I want it going back to 3 months from the time I think that it was you. They're going to have to prove that he's the father. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. How many men are going to be willing to just say, okay, well, at the moment, I've got 5 chicks that are all knocked up, and they're pointing the finger at me, saying I'm the dad. How are they going to get your DNA? And are you going to just let them? I wouldn't. I most certainly wouldn't. I did a poll. I've not checked in a couple of hours. I'm about to go to it. Let's see. Share screen. Yeah. And yeah. Okay, we're not going to watch that again. We watched that last night. Must go to my channel. Look at that stud. Ooh, see, I'm live right now. That's me. I used to be a big fat fuck about 8 months ago, 221 pounds. That's me right now. Look at that. Ripped. And I'm nowhere near where I want to be. So go over here to Communita. And here, let me double check. Everybody's still there. Everything good. Yeah, it's actually still pretty big. Y'all can see it. This is directed only at men, obviously. Might be the reason I've got half the usual votes that I normally get in that time frame. I usually get between 600-800, but these are only men and only men who've had vasectomy. So out of the last 9 hours, there have been 225 votes of allegedly men answering this question. Men, if you've had a vasectomy, do you regret it? I'll be preaching the gospel of the benefits of vasectomies tonight on the podcast at 8 p.m. Eastern and reading all of these comments from this post. 36% of the men say they regret getting a vasectomy, and 64% of the men who took the survey said, no, I do not regret getting my vasectomy. And that's out of 225 votes. If I add my own vote, that'd make it 226. It might bring this up another percentage point to 65%, because this man here, I got my vasectomy in 2005, right before my last child, London, was born, and I do not regret it. I'm glad I got it when I did. Let's go to the comments here. I'm going to sort by top comment first. And the first comment is from, what did I say? No, I meant newest. I'm going to do newest. Caitlin Tomlinson, 10 minutes ago. Hi. That's not exactly what I was looking for, but okay. 7 days to die, Arizona. Oh, that's the person that's in the chat right now. To die, Arizona veteran. I had mine when I was 19. I'm 22 now. Definitely not a kid person. I don't want to have kids. I'm not against people who want or have kids in any way. Do I regret it? Nope. Even if I did, a reversal success rate would be mid to low, due to 3 years being the start of the 50% success of a reversal. I've actually had 7 days. I've had a reversal, and thank the gods it didn't work. I do not recommend that. If you think you want maybe kids in the future, and I'm going to get to this in a minute, you can have your sperm frozen. But I'm always intrigued when people say stuff like this. I do not want to have kids. I'm not against people who want them or have them in any way. Isn't it weird how we feel like we have to justify that? I don't want to have children, but if you'd want to, that's okay. I mean, I do the same thing. I've got 4 kids, and I sure as hell don't want any more. In fact, I got a question from my Facebook today, posting about something similar. It says, Caleb, are you sure you haven't fallen and been hoodwinked for the anti-family agenda? Like, no. Or yeah, I'm positive I have not. I'm for sure I've not fallen for that. I'm not anti-family. Quite the contrary. My whole entire life, my channel is surrounded by me shutting down my entire life just to fight for the privilege. Apparently, it's not even a right anymore. It's a privilege to be a parent to my own children. Oh, Mazen. Like I said before, I swear I just keep learning new things on here. Educate me. W. Caleb. When, Caleb? I think that's what that means. Hannah, obviously too young to get a vasectomy, but honestly, I wouldn't get one just in case later in life I get to a position where I want to raise a child. Oh, Hannah, I'm so glad you brought that up. And I meant to have... I'll have to pull up a new... Oops. Oh, but I didn't just crash everybody. Everyone's still there? Okay, good. I'm going to pull up an article. I meant to have this up earlier. I just forgot. Or I didn't forget. I just got distracted. Cost. Sperm. There's one that I read from... Hang on. I don't need to see all this. Well, I'm going to leave that up because I'm not quite done. You know what? Let me just get through this. Panna, you're really good at reminding me anyways. Remind me. I want to get back to that. I want to get through all these comments first. Miss Sarah Jane commented, Caleb, you actually have a 6-pack now. Yeah, I do. I damn sure do. Damn, I've got to get to the gym. You're an inspiration to many, including me. I've had the bitter breakup with the kid's dad many moons ago now. I've hit rock bottom, like you did. The video of the eviction you had to go through and the pain you suffered for years, but look at you now. on the haters are going to be so mad when they see this photo of you. Yeah, they'll probably get a little pissy. Kyle Campbell. I had one when my ex wanted a third child. I do not regret it at all. Joshua Olin. My wife and I have been trying to have children. We've had tests done throughout. I've always had low potency, but the latest says I'm clinically sterile. Still hoping to eventually have children, just not very likely. And that is unfortunate. Again, I'm not anti-family. I understand people want to have kids. And I understand some people should have kids, but I also am a realist and realize some people should not have children, and especially have them too young, because it is a fact that the divorce rate in this country is very, very, very high, which means you might be lucky to get divorced from a good woman who you simply can't get along with, and everything will be fine. They'll just raise the kids. They go to dad, they go to mom's, everything's fine. Mom needs a little cash, dad needs a little cash. They go back and forth, they raise the kids. Not the best of friends necessarily, might be, but probably not. But they don't hate each other, and they realize that the parents love both their parents. And then there's the rest of us who make 4 children or a bunch of kids or a child at all with someone they're not compatible with. Men and women equally do it to themselves all the time. And you know where they wind up going to dispute resolution? The Title 4D funded crooked ass family courts. It's a 50-50 chance. It's a flip of a coin. A, are you going to get divorced? And B, are y'all going to be able to work it out? Or no, is she going to drag you into the fucking family courts and have a person in a robe who doesn't know anything about you or your children other than what your lawyer, your very expensive lawyer, I might add, might have to say in the time allotted about you and your children? That's it. It is about the money. Follow the money. Title 4D of the Social Security Act, passed in 71 or 72, gives a bunch of federal dollars to states' attorneys generals to hire more workers and pay their salaries to go after people for more child support. That currency, to the brain dead norm that is 2022, that's their own currency. They want more child support. They want more. EGY. Really feel bad for delusionals who did it. Delusionals who did what? Got vasectomy? Oh, don't feel bad for me, dude, or chick, or whichever one you are. Don't feel bad for me. I don't think I'm I'm questionably sane, but I'm not delusional. Do not feel bad for me. Only fathering 4 children. I'm glad I'm done. I'm glad that there's no chance in hell, no matter how many women I sleep with in the future, I will never, ever, ever start a new family. And no woman is ever going to be pointing a finger at me and say, I want his DNA because it might be him. Bullshit. You ain't getting it from me. And if you do, I'm going to make it hard as hell. Absolutely hard. I'll take it to the fucking Supreme Court. All the way to the Supreme Court about getting. I'm going to use it on the defense of the Fourth Amendment. No, this is my body, my choice. You're not going to get it, and if you do, you're going to have to get a court order to it. Austin H. Never going to get one. The best offense is to not stick your dick in crazy. You feel that confident in yourself, buddy? You really think you got them all figured out? Okay. You sure got a lot of confidence. Gunny McGunwall. When our kids were 8 and 6 years old, we were 31, I told my husband I wanted a third child and I was going to stop taking my birth control. I told him if he didn't want another child, I would respect that, but he would have to get a vasectomy because if it happens, I'm okay with it. If it's not, it's fine too, but I wouldn't be taking my birth control. We didn't try for a third, just didn't use any protection. We ended up having twins, and they were born on his birthday. Oh my goodness. That would be my luck. I'm 45. If I thought I had twins on the way, it just, uh, I love my children. And yes, I would say that. I do say that to their faces. No way in hell do I want any more ill. And no way in hell I want to start over. No way in hell that I would change anything about what I did. If I had to do it all over again, I'd have got it. Like if I get to reincarnate, I'm going to go vasectomy right off the bat. But that's not what I did. And my kids know that I love them. And once they're born, the only thing that I would have changed in this whole mess once they're born, besides not getting drunk to deal with my problems, I would have just simply had more cameras. I wouldn't have had just that one iPhone in my truck that day where she haggled him for 72 minutes, called the goddamn cops on us. I would have had more than one camera going. Chief Rocca, vasectomy. Oh, there's a reply there. Well, twins. That's from Sarah Jane. My mother's a twin. My grandfather was a twin. I mean, twins run in our family. Thank the gods I didn't have twins. Vasectomy, CO, about 2009. In the age of reproductive coercion, you don't say. That happened? I would advise any man that has either one, been caught up with a woman who discontinued her birth control intentionally and didn't tell her boyfriend, and two, been lied to by a woman claiming she couldn't bear children to look out for themselves by getting reversible vasectomy and wearing Trojan magnums. Protect your seeds, fellas. Women these days are guaranteed a baby shower, bridal shower, especially in the Black community. You do not want a lifetime connection with a woman because she lied, manipulated, and deceived you. Then, because you spoke out against what she did and resent her, the entire co-parenting situation is going to be toxic. Yep, it will be. That leaves an unwanted child in the middle because the mother was selfish and plotted against the entire ordeal because she was desperate to either walk down the aisle, wanted to keep a relationship that was fizzling out, or was caught up with the baby fever as her biological clock began to run out. Therefore, it's either abstinence or you protect yourself. Here. I couldn't have said any better. And as far as this person's opinion about it happening more in the Black community, I don't know. Maybe it does happen more in the Black community. That's their words, not mine. I wouldn't know. I'm not an expert. Roy Kloppenstein. Oh, Roy, I read your comment earlier. Paul Ehrlich told me to get one in 1969. I'm thinking about it. Who the hell is Paul Ehrlich? I don't know who that is. And apparently, Sarah Jane thought it was funny. Apparently, Paul Ehrlich is somebody. I mean, I looked it up, but there was like several of them, like a scientist, like back in the 1800s, but I didn't go any further. But anyways, that was the poll. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to refresh it. I'm just curious how much, if it all changed from 224, 230. Look, now it's up to 65. I guess I wonder if I can vote in my own poll. No, I can thumbs it up, but I can't vote in it. It doesn't highlight for me. But yeah, 65% of the men polled 10 hours ago do not regret their vasectomy. Because I'm telling you, fellas, just going to get worse and worse and worse. The child support, brain dead, money hungry baby mama terrorist, as Mr. Palmer calls them, and he's absolutely correct. The sickness, the illness, whatever it is in their head, it's going to get worse. The mentality, well, why don't you just pay your child support, and why don't you just co-parent? Oh my God, that was 9 years ago. It's worse now, and it's only going to get worse. And no, this is not to say that I don't love my children. Not at all. Let me take this off. Whoopsie. That's not to say I don't love my children at all. I'm glad they're here. I wouldn't have kept doing what I've done and what I'm still doing if I didn't care about them. But far too many people, in my opinion, want grandkids. You know, I know that these old ladies in particular, they get so mad at me when I say I don't want grandkids at all or anytime soon. They get so upset with me when I say that. And it's not to say that I wouldn't absolutely love my grandkids absolutely to death. I would. But here's the caveat. I ain't raising them. And I've told all my kids that. Boys, you go fuck around and get some bitch pregnant. Nope. It's going to be on you. I've warned you. I've showed you firsthand your whole entire life what you are facing. I shut down my entire life, lost my career, went to jail for Christ's sake. I'm not raising my own grandkids. If you bring them in, I'll play with them on weekends, but you're raising them. I don't know how many people I've seen. They're raising their own fucking grandkids. And hats off to them for doing it. I mean, it's an honorable thing to do. Don't get me wrong. I'm not shaming the grandparents who are raising their own grandkids necessarily. But something went wrong. I don't know exactly what it is. And, it could be anything. Maybe it is the parents' fault. Maybe it's society's fault. I'm not really sure, but I'm not raising them because I've raised enough and I'm done. I'm over. I'm expired. I don't want any more kids. I don't want any grandkids. I sure as hell don't want any more kids. And Panna, I was going to get back to you about, let me look up that. Hang on, I'm almost there. That was with, how much does it cost to freeze sperm? And who was that article by Johns Hopkins? Sperm banking. Yep, this is the one. All right, let me get y'all over here. Stop screen. Share screen. I want to read this to y'all. There's some really interesting tidbits by this. Is from a doctor. There's several doctors, actually. Sperm banking. Dr. Amin Sadagat Harati. Almost sounds like Harani. Like the guy that House always makes fun of. All right, I'm going to make this bigger. Let me scroll. Now let me check on y'all. Yeah, y'all can read that, I do believe. All righty, I'm going to read, not maybe all of this, but most of it. Sperm banking is the process of collecting, freezing, and storing sperm. It's also called sperm freezing or sperm cryopreservation. The sperm can be thawed and used in the future for procedures such as intrauterine insemination, IUI, or in vitro fertilization, IVF. Why do people freeze their sperm? There's lots of reasons to freeze sperm, explains urologist Amin Harati, the MD, the director of male infertility and men's clinic. at Brady Urology Institute. Quote, the most common reason is if you need treatment for cancer, says Harati. After chemotherapy and radiation therapy, there might be a few sperm or no sperm left in the ejaculate or the seminal fluid. Or a surgery such as a orchiectomy. I didn't know this. Removal of the testicles is called an orchiectomy. I didn't know that. For testicular cancer means sperm can no longer be produced. Other reasons for sperm banking include age. Sperm quality diminishes with age. You may choose to freeze sperm if you're getting older and want to preserve fertility. Medical procedures or conditions. Those who choose to have a vasectomy may want the option of saving or of having children in the future. Some medications, such as testosterone therapy or sickle cell therapy, can affect fertility. Occupation. People with high-risk jobs, such as those in the military, can freeze sperm to make it available to them or their partners. Posthumous sperm retrieval. Family members may choose to collect sperm from someone who is deceased. Oh, man, I don't know how I feel about that. Sperm can be extracted and frozen up to 72 hours after death. Your seeds are, after you die, your sperm is still could be active up to 72 hours. That only tells me if you are wearing a condom for sex, men, when you're done with it and you're not real sure, tie that son of a bitch in a knot, wrap it in some toilet paper and stick it in your fucking pocket. Because I've heard of women going there and retrieving it and sticking it up in there and get knocked up. How is sperm collected in preparation for freezing? The sperm freezing process involves several steps. First, a person undergoes an infectious disease screening to make sure there are no sexually transmitted diseases. This usually involves a simple blood test. Next, the person provides a semen sample. Masturbation, I don't know if I can even say that, but I am reading text from a doctor, so maybe they'll let me pass. At a fertility clinic is the most common way to provide the sample, but in some cases, a sample can be produced at home and delivered to a lab within 24 hours. Oh, don't be a bitch. Just go wax your carrot in the doctor's office. The specimen must go into a cup that's approved by the lab and remain as close as possible to body temperature. The sample also can't contain any lubricants or moisturizers unless they're approved by the lab, says Harati. Sometimes a surgical procedure is necessary to extract sperm from testicular tissue. This might be the case for those who have already had a vasectomy or undergone cancer treatment. Individuals with infertility, a very low sperm count or no sperm in the semen, might also need surgery to extract the sperm. How is it analyzed? The semen is in the lab. Once semen is in the lab, andrologists, I didn't know what that was. They're called andrologists. Specialists in sperm and male fertility analyze and prepare it for storage. They separate the sperm from the seminal fluid or testicular tissue and look at a small portion of the sample under a microscope. Quote, we make sure there's sperm in the ejaculate. If sperm is absent or low, the patient undergoes more testing, explains Harati. We do a routine semen analysis. The results of this analysis guide additional testing for infertility. Andrologists evaluate the sperm's concentration, morphology, which is the shape, and motility, which is the movement. They make sure the sperm is healthy and there's enough to freeze. Okay, I'm going to skip the how is sperm frozen and thawed. You can't do it at home. That's got to be done in the lab. They know what they're doing. But how much does it cost to freeze the sperm? The cost of sperm freezing varies. There's often one cost for sperm collection and analysis, then ongoing storage cost for freezing. So you get a monthly bill. Storage costs range from about $100 to $500 per year. But it's important to check with your insurance provider and physician to understand the costs. In some cases, men, your own insurance, if you have it, if you're fortunate enough to have it, will cover this. Now, they don't say how much it is to go wax the carrot into the cup. I would imagine that's probably a pretty hefty upfront fee. I'm just a wild ass guess. $1,000 will cover, their time to clean the room. They give you all the dirty magazines and private room so you can go, fill her up. And then I would imagine you might have to go back 2 or 3 different times or days and give as much as you can. There's a cost for that. But then once it's stored, they've got these big freezers where, everybody's in $100 to $500 a year. That's what, $9 to $13 a month. That's nothing. Most people spend more on that on a single app. You can get your sperm frozen and pay $100 to $500 a year, and then when you're ready, and then get your vasectomy, and then when you're ready someday, if you ever become ready, then you can retrieve it when you're ready. Can I freeze my sperm at home? The short answer is no. Your freezer only goes to 18 degrees below zero. They freeze theirs at 196 degrees below zero. I'm not going to read the cancer stuff. Here's the last one I wanted to read. I'm young and healthy. Do I really need to freeze my sperm? This is a quote from the doctor. My opinion is that any person between ages 18 and 25 should freeze their sperm, recommends Harati. You never know what kind of environmental exposure you'll come across or what health condition could occur. Sperm tend to be the healthiest at this stage in life, and you never know when you're going to get caught in the family courts. I'm just kidding. I added that part. But it's a real threat now. It's a real thing now. I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but I've covered this before. Let me get back over to y'all. And remove. By most state laws, the only requirement that a young man must have in order to get a vasectomy is he's 18 years old. That's about it. The doctors do reserve the right, if they want to say, well, you're too young, in my opinion. You've not fathered enough children, in my opinion. You've not made up your mind properly, in my opinion. They've got a list of about 3 different things that they can choose for reasons to not give you a vasectomy, and you can't sue them for it. If they give any other reason outside of those, which I don't know why they would, then you could sue them. But all they have to do is give one of those 3 reasons. But the only qualification that a man has to have is he's got to be 18. And it's just so weird. It's like almost the exact opposite for women. They've got to have, it's not even legal on the federal level anymore, but if you do want one, you got to go to a different state unless your state is legal in that state. Okay, I want to get to some of y'all's comments. Caleb Jesus. Oh, am I? Onyx, so many that took BCP later had issues getting pregnant when they wanted to. I'm not sure what BCP is. Birth control pills? Yeah, I bet you that's what it is. So many people I've heard people say BC, but not BCP. Later had issues getting pregnant when they wanted to. Yeah, there's lots of birth control, lots of different birth control for women, but is all of it safe? I don't know. You take something on the regular. I've heard lots of women say that they've gone through several different kinds because some of them make them sick or hair loss or, obviously I've never been on it because I'm not a woman, but how many kids does he have? Kirk's. I assume you're talking about me. I've got 4. JR, being awake at 1:30 a.m. watching a man talking about cum. You must be, I would imagine, in England. Yeah, okay, that's why Dana said 4. Well, this isn't necessarily the most comfortable topic, but if this is something that is on your mind, if you are a young man and you're not sure, then I would have watched this. I'd like to know. I would have wanted to know. But hey, if is big money these days. I'm not sure what you mean. Why don't we see Parker anymore? I don't see him on the channel at all because Parker's a grown man that has his own life and doesn't want to be in the limelight. He doesn't want millions of people asking, "How's Parker? How's Parker? How's Parker?" He's fine, and I'm going to respect his wishes. Hey, it's just a little snip of the vas, no biggie. That's actually the truth. The paperwork takes longer than the actual procedure. Once I got all the paperwork done, they give you a pill that makes you, loopy. And then they give you a local anesthetic, a little tiny needle. They do it a couple shots and they rub it. I know, it sounds crazy, but you try it out of the gutter. They make it all numb. And after a couple minutes, once it's numb as shit, they just make this tiny little incision. They got this tiny little crooked little shepherd's hook looking thing, and they pull them out, and then they'll clip them. And there's 2 different ways. They can clip them or they can clip them and sear them. Mine seared mine. And I told that doctor, I said, make your fucking scalpel a little sharper and your iron a little hotter and make sure that they can never be put back. Cut off. All a vas deferens is just a tube from up in your body. Just a little tiny tube, and then one of your nuts is down here, and they just pull it out of the scrotum, and they physically remove. They don't just cut it; they cut it. I think they make 2 cuts on each side, and so they remove a piece of the tube, and then they singe both sides, and that's it. And you don't feel any of it. You can kind of feel tugging around just a little bit. But you don't feel any heat. You don't feel any cut. If you are a horse rider, I would not get on a horse for at least 2 or 3 or 4 days. But once it heals up, everything works as normal. You can pull out and just, boom, glue her eyes shut. And everything feels just exactly the same. The only difference is you're blowing semen out and you're not blowing out the sperm themselves. Onyx, create the problem, create the solution, then they keep making big money. Okay, yeah. You're talking about Big Brother, government? Oh, yeah. Tori, I went through that whole IVF 3 times. Yep, Tori's got triplets. How much are eggs worth, Caleb? To me? Nothing. Not worth a goddamn thing because I don't want any. Now, to some people who want eggs, I would imagine there's a market for it, but I haven't a clue. But to me, they're absolutely worthless. Where's Blaine now? He's right on the other side of this wall. Even when it comes to jabs, you're playing Russian roulette. What are they really giving you? I haven't a clue. In the old days, when Jonas Salk first came out on the scene and started making those, I would understand, real science. But in this corrupt ass brain dead society, I don't know what's in there, and nope, I don't want it. None of it. Yanni, I got a vasectomy after my 4th son. I thought I was invincible. About 2 months after the procedure, you should have seen the look on my face, and I found out my wife was pregnant with twin girls. What the fuck? Assume it didn't work? The look on, I was about to say, the look on your face. Do tell. Are they yours? Bunny question mark. They say it makes you numb to emotions as well when they're on it regularly, birth control. Oh, but it really, I don't know what type it is, but I really don't know what type it is. I don't know, Bunny. Um, I've never obviously been on birth control other than my own, vasectomy. And my vasectomy is fucking awesome. It was $600 back then. Kitty. Scratching me. In vitro fertilization. Oops. What made you decide to get a vasectomy in the first place back then? I had 4 kids, and we were fighting all the fucking time. We'd already separated, I don't know, half a dozen times in the course of 10 years. I should have, again, I'm not wishing away London at all. By any stretch of the imagination, I would still give up my life for that little girl. But I wished I would have gotten it sooner, because their mother and I obviously just don't get along. And I'm not going any deeper, any more detail. I mean, I'm just stating the obvious. We obviously do not get along on anything. We don't agree on anything except for the love of the kids. Hello, Chase Pinkowski. A fun fact, man, don't go around telling people that you won't have kids anymore. Vasectomies don't sterilize you right away. You'll end up a jackass with twins like me and have to explain to everyone. Okay, I see. Yeah, there is a grace period there. I didn't know it was 2 months, but there is a grace period there where you're going to still, blow out some little live swimmers. But, yeah, they say you're supposed to basically clean it out, just go wax it, several times a week for, I think they told us for, 2 or 3 weeks, maybe. I didn't realize it was 2 months. But wow, that's got to be disappointing, I guess, at first. But at the same time, if I was guessing, I would say Yanni wouldn't trade those young twins for any amount of money in the world, and I wouldn't blame him, because I wouldn't trade my kids for any amount of money in the world. I love them to death. I just don't think that it's a responsible thing to do necessarily for me as a parent to say, I want grandkids, children of mine. I think it's irresponsible and even selfish for me to say, I want grandkids so bad because I want to cuddle them, play with them, and do all grandparenty thing. Knowing, child of mine, that the divorce rate is about 50%, and most of those are going to go through the family court. And again, this isn't just, I'm not shitting on women at all. Some mothers actually are on my side for this. You know why? Because they're mothers of boys who are going to grow up to be men someday. And they see how men get treated, and real mothers anyway, not the BMTs, not the baby mama terrorists, but the real mothers who really care and love, the loving mothers, they don't want that shit for their sons either. They've seen it firsthand. Onyx, they're using us as guinea pigs. Oh, yeah, always have. Hello, Kira Beth. I remembered how to pronounce your name. How are you? Julius Dixon. Hey, dude. Hello, Julius. How's the kids doing? They're great. Michaela, I start high school in 11 days. You'll be all right, Michaela. I promise. Just you're worrying about it. Just stop worrying about it. Just be chill. Just be cool. Tell that bitch to be cool. Just kidding. Not you, Michaela. That's a line from a movie that's older than you are, called Pulp Fiction. One of the greatest movies ever made. Marie Winters, hello. Yes, me. Agreed. Pena, sorry, but it does baffle me for anyone to marry someone that you don't get along with. I don't even make friends with people that I can't get along with. Pena, you're just going to have to trust me. Unless you really, really know how to identify a narcissist, you can get tricked and duped, because what narcissists do, they want to be taken care of. And who better than to take care of a narcissist and pamper them and would do anything in the world, no matter how you treat them, than an empath. They will, before you sign the paperwork, while you're just in the dating phase, they are phenomenal people to be around. They're so much fun. And if you're the type to fall in love, you will fall in love. And they will make you think that they are the sweetest, absolute sweetest, most thoughtful, kind, loving, caring, do anything, give you money, take care of everything, feed you grapes in bed, anything, until the contract is signed. And once the marriage contract's signed, and especially once she's got a baby in her, if the woman happens to be the narcissist in the relationship, it's like turning off a light. It's like going from nighttime to daytime. It is that obvious. They flip a switch and they turn on you, and they'll treat you no matter how. They'll treat you like absolute dog shit if they want to. They'll give you enough just to get you, get what they want, how to get you to do what they want. And if you're in love with them, you just got married, you don't want to just get a divorce right away, because that would just be terrible and look terrible for you and the community. It's a pain in the ass. It's expensive. You got to get a divorce lawyer and go to court. Then if you got kids, watch my channel and you'll see what all you're potentially are up to. But if you don't know how to identify a narcissist, that's why I tell people, wait. Because narcissists are good, but they're not that good. They can keep it up for a while, maybe a year, maybe 2 years. But eventually, anything much longer than that, they're going to give up. If you hadn't already married them, and just let them. If they say, well, if blah, 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 you never loved me in the first place, then that's a guilt trip. That's when you say, bye, get the fuck out of here. Don't let the door hit your sexy ass on the way out. Trust me, you don't want grandkids. They make you feel twice as old as having grown kids. I love my grandkids. I'm happy to have them in my life, but damn, I wish my kids waited longer. I'm knock on wood, I'm so thankful that I'm not a grandpa. Isaac Decker, hey Caleb, hello Isaac. Marie Winters, hello. Tori, I still got kids frozen to this day and don't know what is going to be done with them. There's actually, Tori, an episode of House about that. Imagine that. I remember an episode of House about that very thing. Dr. Cameron married a dying dude and froze his sperm. Well, later in the season 3 or 4, she and Dr. Chase get married. But while they're courting, she's having doubts because she's still got her dead husband's frozen sperm. And he's like, oh, I didn't know that. Well, when are you going to get rid of it? She's like, I don't know if I want to. He goes, what do you mean? You're marrying me. My sperm's fine. And so it's really good storyline. Onyx, the thing is, you don't even know who you are as a person, let alone what you want as a mate, until you're at least 25 to 30. Here. That's the age of mental maturity. Yep. No lies detected. That's exactly correct. You don't fully know. You think you do, but you don't fully know who you are until, I would say, maybe not 25, but 23. Yeah, at least 23. Some people will figure it out. How do you know? How could you possibly know at any younger that you want something that you've never done before, like kids, because they're fucking permanent? Yeah, I'm not mad at my kids in the slightest for becoming fathers. I'd be a total hypocrite if I was. I understand. I totally get it. I know how it is when you're young. You think you're so in love and always will be. And any one of my kids could come any time and say, I'm going to be dad, and I'm going to be happy for them, but I'm going to be real fucking stern with them. And the first one after, the congratulations is, hope you're ready, son. I really hope you're ready. And just know it can be a rewarding thing. But just know what you're in for. There's a 50% chance that you and your kid's mother are not going to be together in the next, X amount of years. While this child is still really, really young, make sure you're on the same page with her. Y'all, that needs to be a conversation you don't just have once. That needs to be an ongoing conversation, I would say, for young couples that could potentially want to have kids someday. How many to have? Oh my goodness, I'm behind again. See, that's 8:55. I'm only 6 minutes behind. Isaac Decker, I start school for meteorology on the 20th. Cool. Got a meteorologist in the house. Onyx, something that should be taught very early on, the definition of a narcissist. Yeah, isn't it funny how they never teach you how to identify a narcissist in school? I mean, it's not that hard. I mean, I guess if they don't want to do it in school, just watch these channels. There's loads of videos on identifying narcissists. And narcissists aren't that prevalent. There's not that many of them. I've seen statistics anywhere from 5 to 10% of the population are actually narcissists. But still, 1 in 10 chance out of the whole dating pool, 1 out of 10 of y'all is going to pick a fucking narcissist. I'm not even sure they're fully human anymore. I don't think they are. I know this, my personal belief, there is no cure for narcissists. None. There is no cure for it. Once you identify them and you're pretty sure that's what they are, get rid of them. They do target empaths. Yep. Because empaths are easy targets. Empaths want to please, and they feel and they love and they care, and they'll sacrifice their own self and their own wallets in order to take care of the person that they made a vow, who take vows very seriously to take care of. And when you get a narcissist and an empath like that, that's where the relationship comes. That's where they abuse them. I don't even know if I am an empath anymore. I always thought I was. I'm really not sure I am anymore. At least Dixon agreed. Kira, thanks for remembering how to say my name. LOL. I'm doing well. How are you this evening? I'm doing well. I'm an hour and 3 minutes in, and I've still got half a cup of water. I haven't really lost my voice. It's a little tired, but when you get a spam call, do you just mess with the scammers? I don't even answer them anymore because they're usually just robots. In the old days, you could do it. You can answer the phone. What do we used to say? I forget. I used to mess with them. I don't bother me anymore. The light in me. Caleb, your assessment of a narcissist is spot on. I think I know you. I don't think I've said that every time I've commented on this, but I think I know who you are. Everyone should educate themselves on how to identify narcissistic behavior. Yes, and school ain't going to show you how to do it anymore. They're going to show you how to do your fucking taxes. You're going to have to just learn how to do it or go to jail. And with the narcissist, you get hooked up with one. I mean, it's like getting a mouse getting its nose and tip of its jaw caught in a fucking mousetrap. And it just can't get away. They're almost impossible to beat. They're beatable, but they're very, very, very hard to beat because they don't give up. They don't have the same pain receptors and the guilt receptors that you do. Guilt is what they use on people. They try to make you feel guilty for not doing what they say. And with women narcissists, they use those fucking tears. Because, you know, most people, when they say a woman crying, most men, and it's natural. If I see a woman crying, just to not drive by, I mean, I can't help but feel bad for her. It's just a natural instinct. Not quite as much as it is, as it used to be for me, because I've become so fucking hard. My heart is just fucking hard, and I don't let anybody in. Or not too close. But from the general public, if a woman is crying, they assume something really bad has happened. And with most women, that could be the case. Of course, women cry for lots of reasons, but men just generally don't cry. I'm on camera crying twice, I think. I cry at movies, but I don't in public. I just don't cry. When they stole my fucking son and locked him up in the goddamn Knicks, yep, I broke down. And when my other son was fucking stolen from me there in the goddamn parking lot in Ector County, Texas, and immediately shipped off 375 miles away, yep, yeah, I cried. But anyways, generally, they will use tears in order to make you feel guilty. They create unnecessary guilt. Stop feeling guilty for taking up for yourself. H. Hi, I'm new to this, so what's the update? Do you have custody of your son? Well, H, I've got 3 sons, and I've got 2 of which I've got series about. Parker, which most people are the ones who find me for Parker movies, and then Blaine. Fast forward 4 years, he turned 14 in the Knicks hospital. So you can watch the Knicks. And in between, they've got a brother named Hayden, who also lives here with me in Florida. And then little London, she still lives with her mom, but she's 17 and she's essentially grown. Onyx, I had a narcissistic mother. I knew I wasn't treated right growing up, but it wasn't until later in life I knew narcissism was an actual thing. I didn't know what a narcissist was until after I got divorced. Swear to God. I was 30 years old. 29 years old. I had not a clue. I might have heard the name just from a story from Greek mythology, Narcissa or whatever it was when we learned in school. That's the weird part about public school. They'll teach you the Greek god or the Greek history of it, but not what it actually means in a real life situation. I had no clue. Didn't know. Had never heard. Also, until 29 or 30, what parental alienation was. First time I ever found out, true story. The first time I ever found out heard that term, parental alienation, was when I watched the Parker movie. I read the comments in one of the Parker movies. That's the very first time. And shit, I wasn't 30. I was 36. That's not right. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Parental alienation, I was 36. I read that in the comment section of the Parker movie. Narcissism, I learned after my divorce was final. I'd never heard that. I didn't know what it was. God, 10 minutes. All of a sudden are grown. Yes. Lie to me. Also, I made this comment earlier, but I would love you to discuss your thoughts more on what you think will happen with search and seizure regarding paternal genetic testing. Yeah, I talked about that when I first started. Paternal genetic. The actual seizing it itself. I'm encouraging people, don't fall for it. Don't let them. Don't just willy-nilly say, okay, that's like a cop say, hey, you do anything illegal here? Make my job easy for me. You got any drugs? Anything you know about? You got any prostitutes back there? You behind on your taxes? Cheating on your wife? That's like admitting to a cop that, oh yeah, I got, a pound of weed over here and a couple LSD tabs and blah, blah, blah. They're going to just fucking arrest you and take it. I'm going to make them fucking work for it. I'm not going to let them search me. That's part of the Fourth Amendment. the guarantee of all citizens against the unreasonable searches and seizures of our body and our property. They're going to have to go through a judge. I mean, how does that work? Because lots of people have lots of different sexual partners in a short amount of time, some worse than others. Some chick that's pregnant, she might have 4 or 5 different guys. Or do you want you and 4 or 5? Y'all just gonna line up in a lineup? Y'all just hand over your DNA? Just fuck no. No, I'm not doing that. Hell no. That's another thing is just innocent until proven guilty. Make sure if there's something, they're gonna have some kind of proof, and they're not just gonna. Don't just let somebody just search you, your DNA included. Never. Kira Beth, I hope one day my son can become a father, but at the same time, I'm terrified for any children growing up nowadays. The world is going to complete shit. It is. And again, this isn't that I want it to go to shit. It's not that I'm trying to encourage it to continue to go to shit. It's just an acknowledgement of fact. We're in a cycle where it's going to get worse before it gets better. It is going to get better. Maybe it'll be in my kids later in their life. Maybe it'll be 30 years from now. Maybe it'll be 60 years from now after my life, after I'm dead and gone. I don't know when it's going to get better, but it will, because everyone's heard that hard times create tough men create good times create soft men create weak men create hard times. And it's just a cycle. We're in the cycle of it's going to get a lot harder for the next few years. And just look around, look at the TV, look at your phone and all the bullshit that's going on, and it's not going to fix itself anytime soon. You might as well not risk the 50% chance of divorce. And if you do get divorced, most of those you might as well not risk going through the family courts. If you do get married and do get divorced and do have kids, at least have waited long enough and you found the right person that's not going to just take you to court and sue your sorry ass over and over and over and over, like what happened to me. I got sued about half a dozen times over the course of 10 years. It's just a running joke, but it's about the truth. Every other year, oh, goddamn, I guess I'm getting sued again. Till I won. And then 2017, when I won primary custody of Blaine, just so funny how I haven't been sued again since then. Isn't that crazy? It's just wild. I got divorced in 2007. Every other year I got sued. I was even remarried, and she got sued too. She sued my new wife and both of her parents. It just wouldn't end. Hannah, important to remember when you say you and your kid's mother, remember you have one daughter too. I know. When I say you and your kid's mother, yeah, my kid's mother. My kids means Parker, Hayden, Blaine, London. All 4 of my kids. Onyx, LOLs. I don't think they're fully human either. They're not. Narcissists? They're not. Hello, Miss Lucy. I got my tubes tied at 19. Nice. I'm actually shocked you found a doctor. I'd be curious to find out how that process went. Because a lot of doctors, especially if you're in the South, they won't do it because of, Jesus and God and stuff, and what God wants you to have, like a bunch of children. After all I've been through, my life is great now. I don't want kids. If I ever do, I'll just adopt. I don't value blood relation. My blood relatives abuse me. Here. 19-year-old young woman right there has got the shit figured out because she got the shit kicked out of her all those years ago by her own blood kin. I started to say the cojones, the ovaries, had the fortitude to at 19 to just figure out I don't want kids, and good for you. Well done, Lucy. Well done. You don't have to have kids to live a complete happy life. And in fact, there's like 500,000 of them in foster care right now, and she said it herself. I'll just adopt. Well done. The world needs. There's a market for that. The world needs more people like that. Young men, young women who don't want to get pregnant anytime soon. And if they change their mind after they've had fun in their 20s and 30s and just lived it up, and they've made some money, made some memories, they've got the resources to raise, a kid or two or three. That's just beautiful. She's exactly right. Blood doesn't mean shit. It doesn't. I've had plenty of blood just stab me right in the fucking back, and a lot of people have, but yeah, well done. I mean, that's really encouraging to me. At age 19, she's got that shit figured out. Well done, Lucy. The only blood relative I trust at all is my father. I remember your story. I remember. Although you probably are an empath, I think I'm an empath too, but only with people I trust. And I trust me. I don't trust everyone. You shouldn't trust most people. Just by default, just don't trust. Just by default, you only ever let anyone within a stiff arm's distance of your heart. That's as close as for me anymore. It wasn't like that in the old days, but anymore, that's as close as you get to me. Anybody, no woman, nobody gets any closer than a stiff arm's distance to my fucking heart. I promise you. Demon possessed or something. I don't know. Maybe. I suppose it's possible, but I don't have any proof. Yeah, research gaslighting too, guys. Yeah, that's exactly what they use, gaslighting. But if you're not familiar with what gaslighting is, someone who gaslights you, they tell you how you feel. And however you feel, if it doesn't fit their objective, they tell you how wrong it is. Now, you're not scared. That sort of behavior. Yeah, just stay away from those people. They will gaslight. Something else they should teach school is how to do taxes. Well, you do know that taxation is theft, right? Let that little seed get planted. Onyx, yeah, they are relentless, Caleb. Yep. Definitely could teach you how to do taxes. The narcs constantly try to trigger you. Yeah, because what happens when you blow up? If y'all are having a debate or an argument, especially in public, and one can start crying and trigger you and make you lose your cool in front of all the witnesses, guess what happened? You look like shit and there's witnesses. You go to court, she subpoenas or he subpoenas, and you're fucked. You're just fucked. Keep your cool. That's why I tell people, and they tell me this all the time in the Parker movie, Caleb, I don't know how you bit your tongue. I tell them all the time. I knew when I went in there, I don't care what she says, Caleb, bite your fucking tongue. And that's exactly what I did. Refer me to Caleb in front of our son, and Bozo is daddy. Think I really like that? Hell no. But if I would have blown my top in front of the camera and on the, when the cops got there, fuck you, bitch, and started fighting, you all know what would have happened. Cough, cough, Amber Heard. Yep, stay away from the Amber Heards. In case y'all didn't know, Amber Heard is a narcissist. Study her. Study what she says versus what she does. The fake ass crying. It's all manipulation. Hello, Fat Cat NWO. Women narcissists are the worst. I don't know if they're any worse than men narcissists. Get 10 in one room and they compete. They may be the worst in your experience because you got close to one or two. But no, male narcissists, I promise you, just as fucking ruthless, goddamn nasty, lying, fucking scheming. They're They're equal. There's when it comes to narcissism, there's no such thing as women are worse or men are worse or better. No way. Narcissism is its own unique, makes you a fucking cunt. Them. Ariely Chico, how are your kids? They're great, Ariely. They're grown. Like personal or parental alienation is pretty much when a mom or dad becomes an alien, right? Are you checking with me, little Michaela? No, you know better than that. Nice try. Wah, wah, wah. I was about that age too. How old is your oldest? Parker's 23. He's a professional horse trainer in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Delight in me. I know my assessment means very little. No, it doesn't. But in my observation of you, you definitely are an empath, but you are in a healthy place of self-protection. I might be. I used to be, for sure. I know it was. I was just a big squish ball, and I was gullible. I felt sorry for everybody's sob-ass, sad-ass story. If I know somebody, like I really know them, like an old friend and something really tragic, yes. I mean, it hurts me for them. But I would say you're probably right. A healthy place of protection. Yeah, I got this big old guard around my heart, and there's lots and lots of layers, like Shrek, the ogre. Layers. Ogres have layers. Onions have layers. You get it. We both have layers. Lots and lots of armor layers. Hard to get to my heart. And so no, your assessment does mean something. Thank you. Onyx, the light, I agree. I'm an empath, so I have walls and let a few in. I just don't let any of them in anymore. I just can't. It fucking hurts too bad. That's why I'm not married anymore. It scares me to death. I can't go through that again. I'm not saying I will never get married. I mean, I'm on record with, on this podcast the last couple months, people ask me, I mean, I'll consider it. I'd like to find somebody, but it just scares the absolute living fucking bejesus out of me to get caught up in an entangled alliance with, a witch. The light. I pray to God Almighty to keep me strong, yet not hard-hearted like the enemy. In my experience, though, you've got to be pretty hard-hearted just because you can't tell the real from the fake. That was actually a line from not a line, but a topic in Harry Potter. In I can't remember which one, with Mad Eye Moody. That's what he's talking about whenever the 3 unforgivable curses. And one of them is imitation. I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, that's one thing he says. It's hard to tell the real from the fake. And you just have to assume, in order to protect your heart, assume they're all faking it. And that sucks because not all people who give you a sob story are faking it. Some people are genuinely fucking hurt, like genuinely hurt, and they really need your help or just a shoulder to cry on. But my tendency is like, again, that's about as close as you get to me right there. We can talk. I can get on my podcast and talk to people. I love talking to people, but I can't get too close to somebody because I'm just deathly afraid of getting my fucking heart goddamn smashed open again. It's going to get worse before it gets better, that's for sure. I genuinely think so. Hello, Ricardo. Society is turning to absolute shit. I'm just here on a tropical chill island hiding from it all. My family, he's in Grenada. My family is here. I told my kids and grandkids that if they want happiness, never leave this island. Well, come on now. I mean, surely you want them to explore a little bit, don't you? I mean, I mean, I see why you would say that if you found the happiness and the protection, but in some things they do have to learn the hard way, unfortunately. I know my kids are going to learn the hard way on some things, but I've told them from day one, you are going to learn some things the hard way, but don't have to learn the really terrible things the hard way. You can learn by watching the stupid mistakes of your own old man. Do not get married young or at all. Do not have children young or at all, and don't borrow money. And if you can manage to get to abide by those 3 principles right there, you'll say the shit you do go through will be a cakewalk compared to the results of if you break any of those 3. Babies are a blessing, so precious, but I would not bring them into this world at this point in time. Biblical prophecy is playing out. Some people say it is. I mean, but the world's always been, cruel as shit. It just happens to get worse because just look at the money. They are a blessing, I guess. I mean, again, I wouldn't trade mine for anything. Sure wouldn't trade the memories I've got with my kids for anything. But it's fucking dangerous. So I love my kids enough to know that I don't want them to potentially repeat what I went through. Once society wakes back up and this fucking crazy ass commie woke bullshit is bred out or starved out, however it goes away in 20 years or 40 years or however long it takes, then it'll be great. Great time to have kids. But until then, I just wouldn't do it. Caleb, that's good. Hey, man, I got your email, by the way. Thank you. That was one of the things I was doing when I was almost late getting on the podcast tonight. And I haven't finished setting up the Discord and going, but just give me a few days. Onyx, your enemies will be... I'm almost out of breath. Your enemies will be members of your own household, Lucy. Scripture states it. Does it? I don't remember which part of Christian Bible scripture stated that. Maybe so, though. No, I'm not doubting you. I've lived it. Matt McMillan. Hey, I watched the video where Parker stood up for himself. I'm so proud of him. How is it all going? That was 9 years ago, and it's going great, Matt. Thanks for watching. If you haven't watched yet, watch the next one. It's called Parker versus the Man. You'll see Parker get ripped away from me. And then fast forward 4 years on my channel and look at I've got a section called the Blaine series. His little brother, 4 years old, turned 14 years old in the nut house. Also, a recovering alcoholic here. And I heard you do a podcast about sobering up and the dangers of religion, and I'm interested. Cool, man. Hopefully, Matt, you will get to the point where I'm at with alcoholism, where you will no longer be recovering. You will be fully recovered. That is my hope for you. Because I'm no longer an alcoholic. I'm not a recovering alcoholic. Recovering is what I did for about a week in bed when I was sweating through the sheets and through my nightshirt and waking up in cold sweats and going through experiencing the DTs, and smoked a little bit of weed to get through it. But after that, man, I hadn't touched alcohol. I don't want to touch alcohol. I'm not tempted by alcohol. I'm actually somewhat offended, and it's hard to offend me when Facebook keeps throwing those fucking alcohol ads in my face. And the dangers of religion, cool. Yeah, it's very, very dangerous because it's just mind control. That's really all it is, because nobody has any proof. And I'm not shitting on people that are religious, but religion is like masturbation. You just keep it to yourself. Just keep it to yourself. Can't believe you talk like that, Caleb. There's 17-year-olds. Yeah, like 17-year-olds had never done it. CHB. Hello, CHB. And I'm not saying I know anything about taxation, but I am curious, how's taxation theft? If it's not voluntary, it's theft. It's a I know you're young, but Pan, I tell you what, you do like to look up a lot of things. Look up a man on YouTube named Larkin Rose and tell him I said hello. Larkin and I, back when I was a drunk, we got into some online tiffs back and forth, and we have a bunch of mutual friends. But he's an anarchist, voluntarist. He makes videos, and he's very, very well spoken. He's much more well spoken than me. And he's got a video called shit. I cannot believe I forgot his main video. It's right on the tip of my tongue. I'm just going to stick it in the comments. Larken? Yeah, Lkenrose. Okay, I'm there. Right there, Larkin Rose. Look up Larkin Rose if you want to learn what real anarchism, and he explains it. It's not Molotov throwing cocktails and any of that bullshit. It's without rulers. It doesn't mean without rules. It just means means not or against or without rulers. That's all it means. And another word that people use that so it doesn't scare some people, they call it voluntarism, and it means that all human interactions should be voluntary, which means it's completely free from coercion. A $2 sticker here. Shout out to my future ex-wife. Yeah, you sound like Dr. Ian, what's his name, off of Jeff Goldblum's character off Jurassic Park. Was looking forward to the next Mrs. Ian, whatever his name is. Crap, I missed some. I know I got behind. I'm staying behind. Lucy. I still was living with my mom back then. We had to go to Lebanon over spring break. We returned March 15th, 2021, and my cousin was on the plane and he got arrested and he stepped off. It was bizarre. Matt F., my brother, had a vasectomy and something went bad. A few hours after he came home, he had to be rushed back to the ER. I'm not saying it never happens, but it's just rare. I wouldn't let that distract me if I meant recommending people get them. What my cousin did was wrong, but it's inhumane that he's been held in solitary confinement in the DC jail for a year and a half without being convicted of crime. Thoughts, Caleb? Yes, allegedly this country does not allow that, constitutionally speaking, but that's very indicative of where we're at. There's a lady or a man, I think an old man in San Antonio, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years ago, that was in jail because I don't remember what it was, just a misdemeanor, but their bail was $100 and they're homeless. $100. And they stayed in jail for the last 4 or 5 years of their life and died in jail over a fucking misdemeanor because they couldn't afford and had no family, no friends, couldn't afford $100 bail. That's just cruel and inhumane. And every fucking one of those guards that knew that person was in there over a fucking misdemeanor all that time, they're in my book, they're all guilty. Just taking their fucking check, not ever saying anything, just doing what you're told. I'm just doing my job. Cannot stand that excuse for being a cocksucker. I'm just doing my job. I'm just following. I don't make the laws. I just follow the rules. Sorry to hear about your cousin. Matt McMillan, how did you manage to get sober? I realized that my life was going to shit, that my health was going to shit, My relationships were going to shit, including with my own children. There's things that I would have to deny. Like I wouldn't go work out with Hayden one time because it's 3:00 in the afternoon in the middle of fucking COVID. And the reason I couldn't go is because I was already drunk at 3:00 in the afternoon, or I was in the process. I wasn't hammered, but I was getting there. And I just kept feeling worse and worse and worse. And it kept taking more and more and more and more vodka. And it got more and more and more expensive. And I could just see the writing on the wall. This wasn't going to just fix itself. So I just finally just fucking gave up. I said, fuck this. That's coming up on 2 years. Look on my channel. I've got 2 or 3 videos, or actually I got quite a few videos about my progress over the years and through the months and the beginning of my recovery. And we about 10 days from now, I'll be 2 years sober. And you bet your sweet little asses I'm going to be going over it and celebrating, because again, I'm fully recovered from alcohol. And anybody that would challenge me on that, I'd say, fine. All right, how much alcohol do you drink? We'll compare that to how much alcohol I drink, and we'll see who the alcoholic is. Okay, here we go with Harry Potter again. Well, of course, I've still got it on standby. Michaela, you know this. Yo Tokyo. Hi. Hello, Yo Tokyo. Same Caleb. I'm going to have to just skip through a bunch of these little ones. Hey, what's up? Like the vids, your mom. I'm going to put you up there just because your fucking name's hilarious. What's up, your mom? I just love your vids, from Justin Plummer. Thanks, Justin. Appreciate that, man. People say it's not an addiction, it's a habit. Like with cigarettes, you get in the habit of grabbing a cigarette when you're stressed. Yeah, with cigarettes, though, it's both, I think. I've been on, I never was a huge smoker, but fucking A, cigarettes for me, that was so easy to quit. Or it was a little difficult, but they just fucking stink so bad. Oh, yeah, see, I'm finally caught up to there. Let's see. Are you still close to your son? It's Jordan. I'm still close to all 3 of my sons. It's Jordan. Alex, I'm sure you drank to numb the pain, Caleb. You aren't alone, true, but super proud of you for coming. Thank you very much. Kira Beth. I've cried like 7 times in the last couple of weeks because my son has been with his dad since Saturday, July 30th for vacation. But he comes back home on Sunday. Crying definitely helped, though. Oh, Kira Beth, you're just being a girl. It's okay. It's okay that you cried because you missed him, but it's also okay that he's out hanging out with his dad. As fathers are just as important as mothers, which are just as important, as... I'm just playing with you, by the way. Sorry, chopping off my nuts. Pepe D's nut. Did I say chopping off your nut? No. I said get a vasectomy, which is removing partial portion of the vas deferens. And that way, if in case you're just feeling weak in your pull-out game one day with the wrong hoe, then you don't have to live with a lifetime of regret raising that little shit. Lucy, my cousin was denied bail because he allegedly pepper sprayed police at the January 6th riot. Oh, well, he's a political prisoner then. They claim he's a flight risk because he's Lebanese citizen. He has a family and kids here. He won't flee. Well, I'm not the one you got to convince. I think the longest prison sentence I've seen so far is like 5 years. But if he hadn't even had a trial yet, I mean, they want blood for that. I mean, I've heard the joke. I've read the joke. People have had rougher sex than what they saw on January 6th. And I think it's hilarious because it's true. That was set up from day one. But they do want blood. They're going to get blood for that. They're making a way bigger deal out of it than they really actually give a shit about. But since it made for some great camera shots, they're making it's all political. I would take the plea bargain, and I don't say that lightly. I know a lot of ultra anarchist libertarian friends say never take a plea deal, ever. Sometimes you have to. Again, not professional advice. I'd like to ask them, if he's a flight risk, why wouldn't he have fled 2.5 months between the ride and the arrest? Exactly. He's not going anywhere. His wife, yeah, well, it's probably political. They want it for their tally book, their sheet. They want it in there. The light in me, $9.99 to me. Cheers to you. Have a beautiful evening. Well, thank you, the light in me. You just made my day. I might be in your neck of the woods. Speaking of, here in about a month-ish, I'm going on tour. I'm leaving out a week after next, and I've already made contact with a bunch of people, and I'm just packing my shit, all my podcast stuff, and I'm just going to wing it. Just going to go have fun and sleep in my car, sleep on hotels as few as I can, sleep in parks, crash on couches, do my podcast, see what happens. I'm just going to have a good time. But thank you for the $9.99. I don't know if it's is that a super sticker or a tip, or thanks for the $9.99 tip. The light in me. Brendan Rowan, I'm late. What is your take on vasectomies? Get them quick, get them often. Don't be afraid of a vasectomy. Don't be afraid of what sex feels like after it. Like I said, it feels just the same. I don't know what it's like to have sex with a hood, meaning my parents were Christian, so they chopped the end of my dick off when I was born. I've always been like that, so I don't know what it feels like, but I do know what sex before a vasectomy feels like and after a vasectomy, and it feels the exact same. There's all the same, so you don't have nothing else. You can't even tell the difference. And it will save you a lifetime of pain. Onyx, Kira, I understand. My boys went away with their dad. 7 hours for vacation. Their father had a medical emergency, and they ended up being away for 1 week longer. Excuse me. And I'm super stressed because dad was in the hospital. Well, I understand being stressed, but they love him and they love you. I know he's having fun. They're in Disney Orlando. Well, see, that's like 14 hours from here. Also, he's my only child, so it's a little tough for me to see him goes on. I get it. I know. And I'm obviously, again, I'm just playing. I know, but that's good that he's out with dad. And that's good that dad, I would never take my kids to Disneyland because of the obvious, oh, y'all just go have fun Disneyland dad time. Always despised being called a fucking Disneyland dad. I'm just kidding. I'm not shitting on any dads that take their kids to Disneyland. Don't take that the wrong way. But they'll be good. I promise you. And again, just cry a little bit and it'll be all right. Lucy is being offered a plea deal for 7 years. God damn, that doesn't sound like much of a plea to me. They're threatening him with 20 years if he goes to trial. He wants to fight, but also wants to go home to his kids soon. It really sucks. Damn, that does suck. 20 years for that? Caleb, I just found you today. Oh, wow. I came across your video of your son not wanting to leave his truck and go back to controlling mama. Well, okay. Well, I didn't think I recognized the boxing gloves, your little picture there, but I know I've read people named Onyx. You've been a lot of comments here. I just kind of figured you'd found me today. What happened to your child, Henry P? Watch Parker versus the Man. You will see exactly what happened to him. Your son is highly intelligent. Much respect to him for staying his ground. Well, thank you. You got to see him now. I know I thought maybe that was cruel to say because I always say I can't show you, but one of these days I'm going to be able to, I promise, it's coming, I think sooner than later, I'm going to be able to talk about the bad-ass shit that boy's up to. Caleb, what if you can't get a vasectomy? Well, you're a girl, so you can't. Obviously, you can get your tubes tied though. But the only thing that would prevent you from getting a vasectomy is you didn't have $1,000 to get it. A lot of your people's insurance covers it because insurance likes to cover it because $1,000 to them for you as their a client of theirs to get coverage to get your balls cut is a lot cheaper than them having to cover maternity. Why on earth was he spraying cops with pepper spray? Well, that's what he's accused of. Pug on there. Disney will corrupt your children if you let them. Yeah, they are sickos, but if you don't let them, they won't. The mom with the mom and stepdad. Yeah, like I said, watch Parker versus the Man next. You'll see exactly what happened to him. Well, Matt F., I understand the vasectomy reasoning. It's just sad that men have to go to that end in order to protect their livelihood for years to come. It is. It is incredibly sad, but it's just life. That's how it is. It's the reality. You can either risk it, and you might come out okay. You might find the greatest woman ever, and a lot of people do. A lot of couples find they're great and happy for their entire lives, and I'm almost jealous of that because I can't find that. But that's not the norm. Half of all marriages end in divorce. And the ones that don't end in divorce, I promise you, most of those wish they could have. Because they spend a lot, and I mean a lot, of miserably married years together, sleeping in different beds, sleeping in different houses, sleeping with other people, but by golly, they're still married. LOL, I'd just say just cry a little bit, then it'll be all right. Yeah, girls, y'all just go cry. I love saying girl cry jokes. Lucy, if he takes the plea deal, he'll be out in 4.5 years. When you take into account the time he's already served and off for good behavior, juries have no balls. The plea is probably the best choice. I hate to say it, and again, I don't obviously know your case, and I certainly understand the people that say, the libertarian anarchist circles that say never ever take the plea because that's what they want. Don't give them what they want. In other words, fight it, clog up their system. I totally understand it, but when it really, as a general rule, that's what I go by. But sometimes, and it's between, you and your lawyer, or your brother and their lawyer, sometimes it might be worth it. Just, what, fuck it. Maybe I will get out early. Who knows? It's free in Canada. What, vasectomies? That wouldn't surprise me. Can we see the cat again, please? She's not meowing at me. Just keep in your pants, dudes. Well, that's no fun. You ladies y'all know better now. Speaking of, I might just show y'all my Instagram to give you an example of the shit I see on my fucking Instagram. I don't know if it shows up on. I don't ever get on Instagram on my computer, or very rarely. Now, see, it shows up differently. Get all these recommended shit that I'm not even subscribed to, but all it is just women and their tits and ass. Now, well, I don't know why it didn't show up. Let me get back over to y'all. When you're scrolling on your phone, it'll be, you see all the stories, but then midway you'll have, different things like, I think they call them reels, suggested reels, and you can slide it back and forth. And every single one of them on my end, it's just suggested reels. It's just, and I'm not subscribed to hardly anybody that, chicks that show their tits and ass all the time. Like, I subscribe to or follow musicians and comedians, people who make fun of assholes and make fun of everybody, really. and all various, and some lifting, lifting people that lift, but I don't know how I got off on that. Oh, yeah, Onyx said just keep it in your pants, dude. Well, quit pulling them out of our pants, chicks. How's that? Matt F., I believe when motherhood became a personal choice, it also became a personal responsibility. Don't blame the bartender if you drove and got a DWI. But they still do. They hold bars and owners and bartenders and sometimes even servers personally responsible for when someone else leaves there and gets fucking drunk and kills somebody. Like, it's crazy. Rosie, how is Parker doing? He is great. He's 23 and he's a professional horse trainer in Dallas Fort Worth area. Keeper of the 3 Cheerins. How were you with that monster of a woman? 4 kids, had the worst mom. Not your fault though, but she's so toxic. I was young, dumb, naive, and I just should not have married someone that I wasn't compatible with. I should have waited. I wished I would have had someone like I am now to tell me. That's why I'm so happy when I get a lot of younger kids. When I say kids, that's anybody. To me, a kid is anybody under age 27. I like being able to recommend people to not fuck up the way I did. Juries have no balls. Absolutely correct. I decided to fight my charges instead of taking a plea for a year in jail. I got convicted and fled to Grenada while out on bail waiting sentencing. I love it when he tells that story. I don't know if they don't have balls, but juries are just normal people. I call them normies. People that just believe, just go along with whatever, just believe with anything. I call them normies. I'm a big proponent of jury nullification. I've had people call in here or give comment here about that they were on a jury and they did invoke jury nullification. And that just means no matter what the law says, if he's guilty as shit of, holding, 5 pounds of marijuana or whatever, or, a bunch of grams of cocaine, doesn't matter how guilty he is, you just, as a juror, say, yeah, not guilty. Oh, Doug Stanhope got a fantastic bit. Look up Doug Stanhope and jury nullification. It's hilarious. Well, that's no fun. Well, of course it's not. That's why I'm saying, if you want to have some fun, we're all going to eventually have fun. People like having sex. You want to just do it. It's going to happen. Doesn't matter how religious you are. Doesn't matter how much you throw the Bible in people's faces. No sex for marriage, all that crap, all that horse crap. Not saying going out and whore yourself out to everybody for all the time. Be selective. Nothing wrong with being a little prude. But it's fun. There's a reason people do it, because it is fun. So have some fun, but be responsible in having your fun. Men, don't put a woman in the position where she has to invoke my body, my choice over a life growing in her belly. Just get your fucking balls cut, you big pussies. Jesus. That's going to make a great clip if I ever start doing, what do they call it? Those 1 minute shorts. Oh, shorts. Yeah, they call them shorts. I love being able to watch Caleb stream. Thank you. You're funny. Well, I was likely facing 3 to 6 years in prison at my sentencing, but hopefully I'll never find out. I'll stay down there in your island. You just stay down there in paradise, because I don't want you locked up either. I like knowing that this world is a little bit better place because Ricardo escaped some victimless crime bullshit. And he's out in way south Island having fun. Oh, y'all laughing at me. Brandon Rowan, abusive moms aren't talked about enough. People often turn a blind eye. I saw a kid getting screamed at by his mom at a community pool. The look on his face said it all. Reported to CPS, but no action. Dude, CPS, you might as well go report it to my fucking cat. He's about as competent as CPS. The government-run bureaucracy, they don't give a fuck. They just don't. Self-control, dude. Yeah. But not everybody's got the best pull-out game. Do you vape or smoke cigarettes? No, I used to a little bit when I drank, but I've always had my whole life. You can watch some of my really old videos I got my channel in 2008, and I've got a hunting video where I was hunting a deer with my kids, and I can tell my voice is a little bit different, but it's still raspy. I've just always had a raspy voice. Jonathan Garzon, a vasectomy automatically makes you a beta. No, it doesn't. It makes you a beta just for saying it. Nothing else makes up for that cuck move. Well, somebody's really insecure, Jonathan Garzon. Jesus Christ, dude. Chill. Matt F., thanks for speaking out for dads and men's rights in general. I've been outspoken about it for years, and it's crazy how much hate you receive in response. Well, you're welcome. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about haters. I've had it for so long, I just don't care like that. Jonathan trying to be all Billy badass. All right, dude, you got my balls. Automatically makes you a beta. Nothing else makes up. You're just a cuck. That's a cuck move. No, it's not, dude. It's a responsible thing to do. All right, if you're such a Billy badass, you go risk it then. Good luck. Don't say I didn't warn you. When she comes crashing your door down with the fucking lawyers and screaming for fetus support and then child support, and then your ass gets jailed, but by golly, you've got your vas deferens in check. Wouldn't want to be a beta male. With the help of God, I was finally able to stop smoking cigarettes about 13 years ago. They say a nicotine addiction is hard to quit as a heroin addiction. You know what's even harder to quit than that? Believing in God. I've done that as well. In case you newbies didn't know, I'm full-blown agnostic. Not an atheist. There might be a creator. Maybe not. But yeah, try giving up God. I think cigarettes are hard to quit. I was raised a Baptist. Every fucking day I was in the Baptist. Every time the fucking doors were open, Mom always had us in there. Kira Beth, I'm married, but it's still fun. Well, of course. That's why people do get married, because it's just the best sex partner ever, just available all the time. You don't have to go out and work for it like all of us single people have to do. Please don't use the Lord's name in vain. I will always use the Lord's name in vain because nothing comes of it, and it's my channel, it's my life, and if it just bothers you, just plug your ears for a little bit. I promise God's not going to strike you down for hearing me say God damn it. I promise He's not going to. I've been saying it for many years since my sons were Park was taken from me. That was the day I became an agnostic. Nothing's ever happened. In fact, my life has finally started getting better. Lucy Gataki, Brendan Rowan, absolutely correct. My mom was a monster. She would punish me by dumping extremely hot water on me. It was almost to the point of boiling. My stepdad would hold my hands down. Jesus. And that's exactly why Lucy is the way she is and why she's figured so much shit out at a young age of 19. Well done. I'm only 4 minutes behind now. Emo Allmaster, what do you think about homosexuality? It's just something that affects like 5% of the population, maybe 10. I'm not homosexual, but if you want to be, by all means, go right ahead. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I'm just not. The thought of homosexual sex disgusts me, but that's not and I'm not saying that in hate, because I've talked to plenty of homosexual people who think that and say that heterosexual sex disgusts them, which would make sense because they're gay. So, to each their own. I don't give a shit. I'm glad to see that gay people are having the easiest time in my lifetime ever about openly being gay. When I was a kid in the 90s, man, I didn't know anybody that came out of the closet. We knew, you can always kind of tell, usually, but no one came out because it was just not accepted. But nowadays, shit, it's just wildly accepted. Even oddly enough, a lot of Republicans are even accepting with. They're getting more and more like, it's okay to be gay. It's fine. You don't have to flaunt it in everybody's fucking face constantly. But then again, neither do heterosexual people either, for that matter. At F, people have not. In fact, homosexual men, y'all don't have to worry about vasectomies because you're not going to get your boyfriend or your husband pregnant, obviously. So, I mean, there's one advantage of being gay. Not enough to persuade me, but there's one advantage. At F, people have no idea how to control the child support, how out of control the child support system is. Most of them don't. I do. They practically make their own laws. They actually literally do. And it's not as simple as just pay your child support. Well, that's unfortunately how the brain dead baby mama terrorists judge a man in the family courts, is how well and how often, how regular he can keep her happy by paying an arbitrary amount of money, your child support. Because if you pay it on time, then you're a great dad. You may never come around, you may beat the hell out of him and abuse him, for all I know. Oh God, he's a great dad. He pays his child support on time. And then there's people like me. I'm a deadbeat. I never didn't show up. Even the only time I didn't show up to see my kids was when they threw my ass in jail for 60 days for being a good dad. And by their definition, I'm a deadbeat because I'm still on child support. Even though I actually won, I beat the system. I beat the case in 2015 or 2017. It's still not updated. Not me curling my hair by watching Caleb stream. You're silly. Solid rock chemistry. Hello, solid rock chemistry. Lucy, despite all the burn marks and trauma in a traumatized girl, the judge, deserving of all the respect they are, decided that my mother was a great parent and my dad's farm was a horrible environment as a child. And that's why Lucy's got resentment. And Lucy, I'm here to tell you, it's okay. I'm also here to tell you, don't think you got to get in a rush to forgive the bitch either. You don't. There's some people I still haven't forgiven. Mostly because they've not asked for forgiveness. And you may hold on to that for a long time, and I wouldn't let it eat you up. Don't let it physically make you sick. But that's how people create their own self-values because of bullshit that their own blood kin, in Lucy's case, her mom, what her mom did to her, and what the courts did to keep her away from her own fucking dad. But Lucy, I would recommend don't let that make you sick. But you don't want to forgive the bitch? Don't. I wouldn't. I'd just move on and be as happy as you can. And with your newfound, at a very young age, set of principles, live your life by those principles and treat people the way you wanted to be treated. Maybe someday when you do decide to adopt, if you do, you can be that person to someone else that you wished would have been there for you all those years ago. But again, if she doesn't ask for forgiveness, people are going to constantly tell you, just got to let it go. Just got to let it go. Just forget about it. Forget. Shut the fuck up. Don't forget and forgive shit. Hold a fucking grudge. And that'll motivate you and keep you on the straight and narrow. Again, don't let it eat you up physically where it makes you worry where you got to go get on pills. I'm not saying that at all. But you remember what those fucking assholes did to you. Just like I remember what all those fucking assholes did to my kids. And that's why I say fuck them all. They haven't asked for forgiveness, so fuck them. I ain't going to give them forgiveness. And here I am about to go on tour. My children are grown. I don't have to wipe their asses. They can stand on their own fucking 2 feet now because that's how I raised them. I'm gonna go play. Lucy, I just think you're a real neat person. Your story's neat. I just think you've got it. You've got a lot together. You've been through a lot at a young age, but you've learned a lot. Well done. Solid Rock Chemistry. How is Caleb? I am Caleb, dude, and I'm great. I assume you mean how's Parker? I've got 3 sons, and they're all doing great. Ricardo, I switched from smoking cigarettes to cigars a few years ago. All right, Uncle Buck. You don't inhale cigars and you smoke a lot less to get the same amount of nicotine, so it's probably marginally healthier. Yeah, that shit just stinks. Worst case, use chewing tobacco. At least it's not burning and combining, nitrogen and oxygen in the air with the leaves and actually turning it into horrible chemicals. But if you can't go to vape, if that's not good enough, try snuff. And I mean, yeah, believe me, I know tobacco's hard to quit, and that's why it's just such a nasty drug. God damn, almost 10 minutes behind again. I just got recommended this channel through the video of Parker standing up for his rights. Hello, Lead Heart. Welcome to my crazy show. I'm the kid's dad, and they're all doing great. And Parker's a professional horse trainer, and Blaine and them, well, I can't go into what they're doing, but Henry P., can you still see your child? Dude, my children are grown adults. Parker's 23. Hayden's 21. Blaine's 19. Hayden and Blaine live with me. London is 17. They are grown. I mean, that what you saw, and the reason maybe you saw it on Facebook, that was 9 years ago. Anything new from Back to Live? Nope, I hadn't seen that little coward in a while. No, not so far. Onyx, homosexuality is not immoral, but we are being experimented upon by the Nazis. They're messing with our hormones. Fact. So God is final judge. Okay. I'm just gonna have to say that's your opinion, I guess. I'm quite sure we are being experimented on. I don't know if they're by Nazis or not. I have no idea. I wasn't raised in any religion. That's strange. Now you are religious? To me, that's how it should be. I mean, if you want to be religious, I think it's great. It's fine. If you come to it as an adult and that's what makes sense to you. I just think it's a horrible idea to pound it into young children who are very young children. They're just forced to believe something that they don't know. I mean, parents don't need proof, but nobody does. Now, I've not been able to quit smoking or my beetle nut addiction. What the fuck is a beetle nut? 2 of my kids vape, 2 of them smoke, and my daughters, bless them, were smart and decided that their body doesn't need nicotine. Good. That's a beetle nut. Just look all around you. Yeah, I see. I'm not saying there is no God. I didn't say I was atheist. I just don't think anybody's got it figured out. It makes sense. There probably is a creator. I just don't think any humans ever figured it out. And certainly not in the brilliant droves of, the masses that show up in these fucking houses, temples of Satan. They sure as hell don't all have it figured out. Blame Satan, not God. Show me proof Satan exists. Not evil. I know evil exists. Show me proof Satan exists. Satan punishes evil, though. See, I like how Lead Heart thinks. There's actually a TV show called Lucifer on Netflix, and I think it's brilliantly made, and that's exactly their point. Like, what do you mean? He gets so tired of taking blame for all the bad things and never getting credit for the good things, and his whole shtick is he punishes evil. look all around you. You deny higher power. No, I didn't say I deny. I just don't have any proof. Not wise or respectable. Okay. Well, I don't know what to tell you, dude, but I've been me for a lot longer than you've been a fan of me, and I know how I feel and how I think, and I've been through a hell of a lot. Maybe it's not wise, but if that's the case, then maybe I've never claimed to be a wise man. And if you don't respect me, I don't know what to tell you. Don't watch it, I guess. Lead heart. Why should we assume there is a higher power? I don't. Again, I'm agnostic. That just simply means I don't know. Show me the proof, I'll totally believe. But I just don't know. But it also makes sense that can't just have always been here. All this shit the matter had to come from somewhere. I just don't know how to explain it. I can't wrap my brain around it. So I just simply don't know. Onyx, shouldn't try to control people with your religion. Kind of toxic. Yeah, I mean, kind of pushy there. I mean, you were getting along great, Onyx, and then all of a sudden, after 2 hours 11 minutes, you figured out that am I suddenly a bad person, a bad dad, and made bad choices with my kids suddenly just simply because I'm not religious? Well, what if my religion's different yours? Well, that'll be okay. At least I'm religious. Well, what if I said, okay, I am religious? What's your next question? Well, which religion are you? Because if you're not my religion, then it's the wrong religion. That's inevitably the next step. Well, how do you know your religion's right? There's like over 1,000 different gods and religions in history books throughout the world. Which religion are you, and how do you know it's right? Because it's the most popular? Because it gets the most money in the plate? I mean, how do you judge whose is right, and how do you know? You don't. And if you don't believe in God, why disrespect those who do? I'm going to say God damn it on my own fucking goddamn show if I want to. And I'm not meaning it disrespectful, but it's my podcast. And I'm not going to be told by if I'm not going to put up with the bullshit in the family courts, I'm certainly not going to listen to someone who just found me and comes in here and tries to tell me a word I can't say. No, the answer is that fact. I'm ornery enough now. I will deliberately say, God fucking damn it, just a little bit more just to irritate you. Because that's just the son of a bitch that I've become. I don't believe in religion, Dan. Okay. Well, you certainly seem to believe in telling me what I can and can't say. That art is not disrespectful to request someone who isn't religious. Oh, is it not disrespectful to request someone who isn't religious to follow religious rules? You can ask. But I mean, they're this honest person just going on and on. They, tell me I was a cool dad and all this at first, and then don't use the Lord's name in vain. Well, don't tell me what to do. And Danon is this trolling. I don't think Onyx is a troll. I mean, we were getting along great. I said a little over 2 hours, everything was fine. Well, all I'm saying is that I would never intentionally disrespect anyone. Some might argue you just did. You just told me what to do on my own channel multiple times. Told me words I cannot say. And I don't mean it in disrespect. I mean, I don't normally say Allah damn it, but I just say God damn it. But if I did, I wouldn't necessarily mean it as disrespect to the other really popular God named Allah. But I was just raised it's just something we say, and I don't think anything of it. It's not meant to be disrespectful, but pushing that shit on me, and not to mention religious people in general using their religion to make rules. This country's founded on God. Sort of. Some of them realize the dangers of religion. Anna, they're not really being abusive yet. Yeah, Dana, by the way, is one of my Whomping Willows. And it's okay to criticize me, Onyx. It really is. But it doesn't mean I'm going to, just cow down to any criticism. But she's one of my whomping rules. But I've already told her, criticize me, let that stay all along. If you come in, start calling my kids names and harassing people using racial slurs or homophobic slurs, and then, Dan will zap you. But feel free to criticize me all you want to, but don't be surprised when I bite back. Okay, Dan just asked, this pink shirt, red, I'm colorblind. It's pink. Oh, the same one I wore yesterday. I just felt like wearing it again today. Pinky red. I stole this from Hayden, by the way. And I would need to get off here, but Lucy, I forgave my mom and stepdad. Good for you. Better person than me, Lucy. Fighting and screaming every night is their life. Riding my horse and milking cows on my dad's farm is my life. I hope they're as happy as I am. I really do. Well, Lucy, hats off to you. You're a bigger person than me. I'm kidding. Well, I mean, I'm serious, but you know what I mean. Well done. If you're able to do that, good for you. I'm just not there yet with some people in my life. I'm just not there yet. But well done. Very well done. Congratulations, age 19. You're ahead of even me on that. Well done. Good job, Lucy. Matt F. I'm currently paying child support to my son's mother, and he hasn't lived with her in 2 years. I know there's nothing I can do either. She collects money. Sees none of it. He's not lived with her in 2 years. Unfortunately, until you go back to court, even if you can quit paying, but until you go back to court, it's just going to keep racking it up. Unfortunately, I know there's nothing I can do. I mean, you can go to court, but she collects the money. I mean, yeah, you just bless your heart, Matt. Like so many of the rest of us, you just picked the wrong one. Your name here. I remember you. Hey there, my favorite silver fox on YouTube. Money. Lead heart. CSGO. I have no idea what that means. Matt and Millen, that video of Parker versus the man hit me like a ton of bricks. Holy shit. Amen to that. Sucked, huh? That's literally the day I gave up on religion. That very moment. Y'all see me crouch down and cry. That was it. Right then, it's like, if there is a God, he sure the fuck ain't a benevolent God. Oh, God, that was mad. Bye, Caleb. All right, bye, Onyx. It was good chatting with you while you're a fan for 2 hours. lost the fan. Brandon Rowan, do you think aliens are visiting us? Look up McMinnville UFO from 1950. Brendan, I think there's a very good possibility that as tiny of a speck as Earth is in the grand known universe, just a fraction of 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 a percent, I think it is very likely that we aren't alone. I don't know to what extent. I don't know how, if they're green little aliens like this, but I have a feeling we're probably not alone. I have a feeling there probably is other life out there. Don't know what it is. I'd love to see it, though. I'd really love to see it. That heart, bye. Yeah. See ya. Okay, great. Be spiritual. Hell, I'm probably spiritual. I don't want to go do evil things. I preach nonviolence. Hell, ask anyone in here that's got here every day. Y'all, what do I say right at the end when I get off? Consider not hitting your children. I mean, I literally preach nonviolence, especially when raising kids. So, I mean, I'm spiritual at best. If there is a higher power, which I'm definitely saying there is, most likely probably is, I just don't have any proof. If there is a higher power on it, and so an afterlife, I certainly hope to be in good graces. I just simply don't think that humans are smart enough, especially in mass droves, to say that they've figured it out and we're getting written it all down in books. I just don't believe that. There is one truth. Okay? That art. And we can never know it. We can. Night. All right, for real. Good night. I should go to sleep. Oh, well, but where in the world are you at, Lead Heart? I'm about to get off, y'all. We're 2:20. I'm way long. Usually it goes long. Love the study of religion and philosophy. Love talking about that stuff too. Well, Lead Heart, I'm glad you're a subscriber. Now, if you're not, be sure and please subscribe, because I love theology. I love talking about the possibility of aliens and the possibility of gods. What kind of gods are out there? I love talking about it. I just don't have any proof of which one's real. I would never watch that show. You're kidding me? Satan flips things. Just show me that Satan's real. That's all I'm asking. Wolf King 2005. Hi, Caleb. How are you doing? I'm happy to see you're doing well. I am doing well. I'm doing real well. I'm about to go on tour. Don't put words in my mouth. That hard. I think he's explaining a point most atheist agnostic people have. Want religions where they aren't very tolerant of each other. I think you got a typo there. I'm just not sure which one. I can't tell which way it goes. True colors. Red code. Lucy Gataki, you're from Northeast Connecticut. You'll know where this is. I got pulled over on Route 6 in Hampton for going 60 and a 50. I was just moving with traffic. Everyone speeds there. The road is scary. Gaming with Heath. Are you gay? No, I'm not. Why would you ask that? I've got 4 kids. Your name here. Maybe I shouldn't said, God damn, you're looking fun. Well, God damn, thank you so much. Your name here. You're just getting them all riled up. It just burns some people's ears, but I'm not here. It's not my job to make sure you aren't triggered by words. If words trigger you, and especially if I'm not even talking about you, if I'm not saying, you so-and-so, I'm going to do this and this and this and make threats, which I'm not, and I never would, but if someone just talking and that there's words that trigger you, that is on you to take care of it. Someone just says the words like, God damn it. If that bugs you, that's a you problem. That's not the rest of the world should tap dance and make programs just specifically to tailor just so you don't get triggered. That's a you problem, and that's something you must work on yourself. If you know something offends someone as a decent person, why would you try to be just... I'm only keep talking about it because you won't shut up about it. That's the only reason I keep saying, God damn it. I mean, I'm sure I've gone quite a few podcasts having never said it. And then I said one time, and here it is. We're going on 15 minutes of this. You just won't let it go. You keep bringing up this one thing that triggered you as if you're going to change my mind. I could have been talking about anything else, and you could have just simply, that's just something he and I disagree upon, and I'm just not going to let it bother me. I'm as onyx and secure in who I am with my Lord and Jesus Christ, my Savior, and I'm just simply not going to let that bother me, but Caleb can go be Caleb. That's how religion should work, and you keep it to yourself. They do call it a personal relationship with God, do they not? Red Coat, I agree with my dad all the time on that road, or I argue with my dad on that. That feels safe to be on the left lane. Okay, y'all are talking about local stuff. My dad always wanted me to slow down, but it's just easier to go 80 so people can pass people speed like hell. It's such a small issue, it shouldn't matter, Onyx. I have issues with people who say some words. I still understand if they don't want to change what they say just because they ask. I'm not spewing, racial slurs or homophobic slurs or anything like that. It's like fat people. I can make fat jokes because I was a fatty. I used to be a fatty McPatty. I used to be religious. I've got firsthand experience with the whole fucking town of Odessa coming down on me like a goddamn ton of bricks. And all of them were Jesus people, every fucking one of them. And they stole my son. They stole my other son. They locked him up several times in handcuffs. They locked me up twice for 60 days. They forced all 4 of my children to go without a father for 60 days. All in the name of fucking Jesus. Yeah, I can be a little irritated if I want. And I can talk a little bit of shit about the religion that I used to be, just the same way I can talk a little bit of shit about Fatty McPatties because I used to be one. And now I've gone from 221 pounds down to a sexy ass, badass, ripped old man getting fucking jacked down to 178, 179 pounds because I put in the fucking work. I've put in a lot of hard work. And so that's where I'm at. I'm not going to go off on a bunch of homophobic slurs because I've never been gay and I'm not gay. And I think that would be inappropriate. I'm not going to go into a bunch of racial slurs because I'm not brown and I'm not black. I'm a white guy. That's just not where I'm going to go. I'm not even going to go into a bunch of bigoted, slamming women, even though I could. But I mean, I tell jokes, but you're the one bringing this, keep saying true colors and bringing up. You just keep bringing it up. Matt F, he lets people call in occasionally. Send an email at crankmycat@gmail.com. Oh, okay. Yeah. Matt, I'm not sure what you wanted to talk about. I know I'm not going to take calls today just because I've been so late. I keep saying I'm going to go, but I'm having such a good time debating someone telling me how butthurt they are. But yeah, if you want to come on and talk about something, send me an email. Give me kind of an idea about your story, and we'll get you on sometime. Visisos. Why did I say that? I'm not sure. What'd you say? Because Mr. Beast is awesome. Y'all keep talking about Mr. Beast. Who was that? Oh, Karen. Karen, she's not here tonight. I haven't seen Karen. Have I? No. I've seen Kira Beth, but not Karen. She was the one that, and a few others are talking about Mr. Beast. I still haven't looked it up. I will, though. What's your workout routine? Push-pull legs. I do chest and triceps. That's push on one day. And then I do back and biceps. That's pull. That's the next day. And then I do legs. And then I repeat. I curl my hair, brush it out because the tight curls are, and it goes dead straight. It's poofy at the ends. It's not fair. Other people have wavy hair. You're such a girl. That's not an insult. You are a girl. You should be a girl. And you say girl things, and girls should be girls. And I'm glad girls are girls. Yeah, baby. Oh, when I pulled my shirt up, I got a little irritated. Caleb, how's your water and throat making out? Well, that's about a third left on the water. I'm 2.5 hours in, and I've still got my voice. I guess I can officially say I'm healed. But I'm having such a good time arguing with people who get mad at me. Hello, Leo Brian. Haven't seen you around in a while. Caleb, random topic. How do you deal with a stomach bug? I try to stay in shape and year round. I didn't have a stomach bug when I got sick this last couple weeks. Just had a mild fever. Drink lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of water. The water is just a general flush. It makes all your organs work properly. Now think about it. If your car has a severely clogged up air filter and everything else in the car is brand new, but you've clogged up air filter, everything else will screw up. Water is just one of those real basic things, really, really basic things. And that ought to be a daily routine, even once you're well. Visisodes. Anyways, bye. I gotta finish making my backrooms game on Roblox. All right, cool. Y'all go enjoy. Hey, I like Mr. Beast. You mean Mr. Beast? I've heard he's cool. Is Onyx the new Back to Loot? No, no. She just got a little irritated when I, said something to offend her Sky Daddy, magical friend in the sky that they can't ever prove even exists. Wolf King. I have trichotillomania. Did I say that right? I tried on the first try. I think I said it right. Trichotillomania, which makes me pull my hair out and still look up to my idols to help me stop. That's a form of anxiety. Have you ever seen The Boys? Is that what that lady had? The redheaded chick? Homelander called her out. I'm not laughing at you. What you have? I've heard people have that. I've known people have had that. I just sit there and grab this girl I went to school with. She'd pull all her eyebrows out. Hard to hear that. I'm sure you can get some kind of therapy to help with that. I prefer the game Rust and War Thunder. I don't know what that means. Zillan X. What is a vasectomy? It is a surgery on male humans. And male humans have this thing in their ball sack, which is called a scrotum. And inside those things, 2 balls, they're called testicles. And the testicles are connected to the penis via things called vas deferens. And the vasectomy in vasectomy, the vas, those are 2 little tubes that connect the nut sack, the balls, the testicles to the urethra through the penis. It's when they make a little incision, the surgery, they make a little tiny incision on the side of the scrotum and pull the vas deferens out, little tubes, and they cut the tube off like a quarter or half inch or so. I don't know how long it is, not very long. Just cut off a little segment, and then they singe it they burn it, and you're all numb down there. And it's to make sure that the male does not inseminate a woman and get her pregnant. That's cool. That kind of strange, but kind of cool that I was able to. Somebody actually learned what a vasectomy was for me. Roblox is chill. I have no idea what y'all talking about. Smoking flip flop. I'm doing well. Smoking flip flop. It's a stream game. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not a gamer. Hayden is. I'm not. Toxic spenders, bro. They're so annoying. I'm not sure what a toxic spender is. Slenders? I'm not following you. Drink some coffee. Nah. By visit. It was a nice meeting you. Matt McMillan, you support LGBT rights? Yep. Sure do. Caleb, what's your favorite movie? Mine's Stanley Kubrick's The Killing, 1956. Oh, I got a bunch of them. I like Forrest Gump. I like Tombstone. I like Lonesome Dove. Well, that's a TV show, but still, I love it. Anne of Green Gables, also a TV show, but still, I love it. Those are a few examples. Wait, do you mean male aliens don't have it? I'm not sure if you're even talking to me. What beer happened to your son and you? What beer happened to your son and you? Whatever happened? They're all grown. All of them. Everybody's great. The one you're probably talking about is Parker, and he's a horse trainer, professional horse trainer. Kira Beth, I'm only 29, but I feel 80. I'm going to hit the hay. Good night, Caleb. All right, well, get some rest, Kira Beth, and then get in the gym and bust your ass in there. Your husband will thank me, I promise. Oh gosh, I really can't stop making fun of Pack the Blue. That's what happens when you target me for no reason. God, Penn, I don't know why they targeted you. I mean, And that other drunken idiot went after you pretty hard. All right, good night, y'all. Everyone's going to bed. I'm going to bed. I'm tired. Golly, 2 hours, 35 minutes. That might be a record. But it was fun. I literally will bust my ass. I go to the gym. Hey, what way? You should. Good. Our bodies are not, we're not meant to be lethargic. We're meant to be movers. All right, kiddies. I will see y'all tomorrow on Freaky Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and consider not hitting your cheerings. Adios. Give me a thumbs up if y'all are still in here, the ones that are still here. Thanks. Or thumbs down if you hate me, Onyx. Bye.